Welcome to Q Up. I'm Brenda Roberts. I'm at Shadle High School, where we just had a wonderful event put on by Generation Alive, and I have the really golden opportunity to speak with Jeremy Afflet, and he just finished pitching for the World Series for the Colorado Rockies. We'll talk more about the win or lose situation and that. But I want you to queue up right now and pay attention, because this is a man that's got a wonderful vision and helping keep dreams alive for the youth. Jeremy, I so enjoyed your talk here at Shadle.
Thank you.
You're from Spokane, so you feel that coming back to your hometown and, participating is really getting back with your roots, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I went to high school here in Spokane. My dad was in the military, and so we bumped around, and then once he retired, he moved here to Spokane. They live out at Medical Lake, and I went to high school here at Northwest Christian, and I played sports in the Spokane areas. And so for me, I met my wife here, and so we just kind of live here. We have a family here, and so we come back here in the off seasons from playing baseball, and I just have a real passion for the young people of this generation, and I see a lot of tough situations they have to deal with. I know that obviously you see it in the news, and they're really having a hard time with relational issues, and for me, I have a heart to come back and just, try to encourage these kids to dream big, encourage them to make sure their friends, their choices and friends are key, because I think that your friends are the ones that encourage you the most in your dreams and accomplishing those dreams. And so I have an opportunity with Generation Alive to come in and to speak in the schools. The schools have been awesome letting us in. Right, and we put on a pretty good show for them. And we have guys speaking on leadership and being people of influence. And I speak on, make sure you have dreams. It doesn't matter how big they are, you dream. And have a vision for your life, and understand that in high school, this is just a starting block for you. It's almost a springboard to gain your dreams, and so to have dreams at a high school level and to do whatever it takes, whether it be friendships, choices that you make during school, choices that you make in college, choices that you make outside of school, and how hard you work and all that stuff, all is going to dictate if you reach your dreams or not. And that's kind of our biggest thing, is we want to encourage the kids in that area.
Now, you reached a dream to be in the World Series or to be in the Major League, as you said. I think, what, 22?
Yeah, I reached the Major Leagues when I was 22. I was drafted out of high school by the Kansas City Royals, and then they traded me last year in July of 06 to the Colorado Rockies, and then obviously this year in 07, the Rockies made it to the World Series, and that was a huge dream of mine, and I was able to pitch in all 4 games of the World Series, and I don't think my feet ever hit the ground, but it was something that there's no doubt in my mind. I was so excited to talk to these kids because of the fact that not only did I get to make it as a dream as me a Major League Baseball player, I actually got to the World Series, and I play with teammates that played for 20 years in the big leagues, and they have never been in a World Series game. So to be able to accomplish it, not only to be there, but actually pitch there and pitch every game in the World Series, was a huge thing for me. It was a huge thing for my family, and I think it just shows that if you dream and you dream big and you have a focus and determination to reach your goal, you will accomplish your dreams. And I'm a perfect example of it.
Yes, you are. I was just going to say, I want to find her example. And you started in high school, right? With the baseball and wanting to have that dream
I started playing when I was 5 years old. I told my dad when I was about 10 or 11, we were sitting in the Oakland Coliseum watching the A's play, and I told my dad, I said, "Dad, I'm going to play here one day." And he patted me on the head like every dad will, and say, "Yeah, son, and go ahead and chase your dream." And he let me chase it. And I remember in 2002, I was standing in center field of that Oakland Coliseum before the game, and I called him on my cell phone. I said, "Dad, you know where I'm standing?"
I'm here.
I said, "I'm standing in Oakland Coliseum. I told you I'd play here one day." And it was a great moment for him and I, because he remembers that moment, father-son moment that we had there. And then I'm sure he didn't think I'd actually make it, which, that's understandable. But when I did, I think he was a proud papa, and there was no doubt in my mind I was happy to make him proud of me. So.
Now, how do you handle, though, some of the adversities and the disappointments? And even, currently, you did pitch in the World Series. You didn't win it, so, that would have been another level of your dream. And yet, this positive, wonderful, just glad to be there, just happy for the journey. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think successes are different in different areas, I had tough times in the big leagues as well. I had bad years. I've had bad years in the big leagues, but it was a dream to get there. You hated to fail. I had to fail in the minor leagues in order to make myself better to be in the big leagues. And I think
lessons.
Yeah, absolute lessons. I learned lessons in high school. I tell young people all the time, I'm not so concerned with young adults, high school kids failing. I'm not concerned that they make mistakes. I'm concerned with how they handle those mistakes, deal with the mistakes. How do they use those mistakes to make them better? And when a kid makes a mistake, I'm a pretty merciful guy in the sense that, okay, well, you did it. There's nothing you can do about it, in the sense of you can't turn back time. You can't not do it anymore. You've done it. So now let's handle it correctly. Let's sit there and say, okay, well, how can we keep this from happening again? And I think if you learn from mistakes that way, I did the same thing. I made tons of mistakes in my life. I made mistakes in the big leagues. I've made mistakes in general life issues. I've made mistakes in my family, and I've had to learn from them, and it makes me a better husband and a better father. So
you've grown, right?
Yeah, you grow, and you use mistakes to you don't let mistakes take you down a bad road. Let mistakes take you down the right road, and that's what we're obviously encouraging the kids here at Generation Live.
Oh yes, you are, and even Edison and Tesla and Einstein say that some of their greatest successes came from the whole slew of failures that they learned from.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's a great message to pass on. And I love too the message that the teenagers themselves, even at this age and at any age, elementary school, junior high, we happen to be in high school now, can be friends and can really help and support each other.
Yeah, that's our biggest goal here. Is, I know for me, you know, my friends always knew what my dream was. And like I said, there's not always, they're not 100% like, oh, you're definitely going to be there, but they knew what my dreams were. And they encouraged me. They never told me, you're not going to be a big leaguer, don't even worry about it. Those were what my friends said. My friends encouraged me. My friends, when I got drafted out of high school, said, good luck, man. I know you're going to make it, you know. And they, when I got to the World Series, and they come to games, even during the season, they've come to games and support me. And I support them, you know. I know some of them, you know, never reached their biggest dreams, but they do have families, and they have had dreams, and I encourage them in it. And I want to let them know they're good dads and good moms, and we're just having a good time. I still have those friends today. They still live in Spokane, and I still enjoy hanging out with them, and I believe in them for all that they need to be, and we support each other. And that's so huge, to support each other, your friendships. You got to know what your friends dream, and you got to let your friends know how you dream. And then there's an encouraging thing when people, no matter what, are backing you and in your corner.
And then pretty soon, all of the others that may not support you kind of fall by the wayside, don't they? Because it's that positive energy and support, I think, that are the ones that will stay with you through the hard times and make sure that they're behind you. Yeah,
I think there's going to be friends here that you know, that you thought were your friends, that I think at a certain time they just are no longer your friends because they fall to the wayside. They didn't believe in you. You figure out that, you know what, this person is a bad influence in my life.
Right.
They're not really encouraging me to get anywhere. I'm sorry, I got to cut ties. And it's not like you get into sometimes a huge fight with that friend or whatever. It's just a matter of, you know what, this is not going to help me become a better person with character or anything. And I'm not going to help you become a man of character or a woman of character because I'm not enjoying you. And so there's some things right now that we can't hang out, and until you want to dream with me, we can't hang out. And I think it's just going to be better off, and I don't think there's a problem with doing that.
And you apparently, obviously, enjoy doing exactly what you're doing at this point in your life. And I think, too, to stress the joy part, the happy part, you know, really have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, my biggest concern with it is you're going to do, you know, I've always had a thought, you know, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, don't do it, because there's no point in it.
Right.
You know? There's hope. People, if you have fun in your job, there's no better place you want to be.
That's true.
There's no amount of money you can make. I know people that make lots of money and they hate their job. That's the worst place to possibly be. If you enjoy what you do, that's so key, you know. And I think that's why some people, you know, you see a lot of these people who volunteer. You see a lot of people who go overseas and work in third world countries, and they got smiles on their faces, you know, because they enjoy what they're doing. They're helping humanity. They're helping other people. And for me, I enjoy what I do. I have a lot of fun. And the day I start having fun in baseball is the day I quit the game. And you know, I think that, you know, my friends all make it fun, and I find joy in what I do. I find joy in the things I do, and I find joy in going to schools and talking to these kids and encouraging them to dream, because that is, you know, I wish when I was in high school, I wish I had people, you know, not necessarily my age, but that kind of understood where I was at and came in and said, dream and dream big, man. Don't let